everyone. We're in this interview going to have a look at the manifestation of sexual experience within the context of how we tend to approach sex through experiences of energies, and which then takes us into a sexual experience of energy through the mind, and it separates us from actually having physical sex in expressing ourselves through our human physical bodies. Now, if we have a look at how we're having sex at the moment, and I'm sure there are human beings listening to this interview that has had sex, and for those that have not yet had sex, this is actually a cool point to listen to when and as your life develops and you go into an agreement with another human being and have sex. It's to assist and support yourself in considering in this interview how to assist and support yourself when having sex, to express yourself through your human physical body and not through energy as the mind, and why. So for those that have not yet had sex, please, we're not saying now just because of listening to this interview to go and have sex with a random person. Within this world, in this reality, in the current condition of the human mind and the physical in relation to sex, one must, within this world, in this reality, when considering having a relationship or sex with another human being, really be cautious and be careful. And that is why we suggest, in terms of when considering having sex, to really first establish a relationship or agreement with another human being, and first really get to know yourself and the person before you really physically commit. Alright, so let's have a look at, in terms of sex, for those especially that's had sex. If you have a look at when you've had sex, yes, your human physical body moves. I mean, you have to physically move your body to get to that point of orgasm, which is how we conventionally approach sex, which is essentially thrusting the human physical bodies together to get to that blissful, ecstatic experience of orgasm. But what you'll notice within that is it's like you're mechanically moving your body just to get to that orgasm, and that during that sexual experience in the body, you are more focused on what you are experiencing in the sex. What are the thoughts that's coming up, the fantasies that's playing out in your mind while you're having sex, and what you'll physically feel. It's like this energy motions that go through your body as you are penetrating or as you are touching, and you will actually feel in your solar plexus that your solar plexus, your stomach area, constricts while having sex, because that's where most of the attention of your energetic experiences in relation to sex come from. And within that within having physical sex, you'll find that your presence, your self attention, so to speak, where you are during physical sex is more within like your head region and your chest area and your stomach, whereas the rest of your body just mechanically moves and touches and grabs and thrusts just to get to that energetic experience of orgasm. Now, what happens in terms of as we walk through our world and reality from childhood, from our younger years, is that we create a relationship towards sex based on energy. Meaning when you're initially introduced to sex within your life experience, you have energetic experiences toward it, whether it be desire, ecstasy, adrenaline, anxiety, excitement, fear. So all throughout your childhood years and younger years and adult years, before the moment that you actually have physical sex, by that time you have an actual database in your mind of all your energetic experienced relationships towards sex. And this was an actual system that was manifested within the mind in the physical, and it was aligned within the top of your human physical body, primarily within your chest area and into your solar plexus. And it was like this white platform that was manifested in the center of your human physical body, in the top section of your body, and it had like these energy threads, like if you have a look in the ocean, your seaweed that float from the bottom of the ocean and kind of weaves upward, and like it's like threads that floats. It's exactly the same in how it was manifested on this platform. It looked like these threads that were floating, and it had its origin within the very platform, and it was like in constant motion and movement, like seaweed in the ocean. And then all of that was then duplicated and channeled into your solar plexus. And there in your solar plexus was like a conglomeration of all your energy experience relationships that you have created, designed, manifested, and programmed throughout your life in relation to sex. So your energy relationship to sex has been copied, manifested, and placed within this platform as actual energy threads, and connected into the solar plexus. From the solar plexus, it was connected into the sex system of that was situated in your pubic area. And what does happen in terms of when you're having sex for the first time, all of these energy experienced relationships that you have created towards sex will activate at the same time. So that's why, especially when you're having sex for the first time, you have like these rushes of thoughts and backchats and internal conversations and physical reactions. And that's why your first physical sexual experience is quite uncomfortable, because you're experiencing all these energies at the same time. And at the same time, as you're experiencing all these energies, they're integrating and permeating throughout your mind consciousness system in your human physical body, which makes your physical movements when having sex a bit uncomfortable, a bit stumbly and rocky, and don't know what to put where and which goes and how deep that goes, and how to kiss and how to touch and things like that, because most of your focus is on what you are experiencing through your mind in relation to the physical sexual moment. Your attention is in no way on your actual physical self, your physical movement, physical touch, the sensation of your human physical body. And then, dependent on your first sexual experience, and obviously throughout your lifetime, what energy relationships towards sex had been most prominent throughout your life will thus be more energized within this system platform in the center of your human physical body. And so every time you have sex from your first physical sexual experience, you will have all these primary experiences in relation to sex that will come up every time you think about sex or approach sex or actually have sex. Because from that first moment of having your first physical sexual experience, all of these energy relationships that you had in relation to sex will be channeled and stored within your conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind, dependent on what sexual energy relationships is more prominent. So let's say, for example, throughout your childhood, younger years, adult years, your most prominent energy relationships towards sex was desire, excitement, and fear. obviously throughout your lifetime up to that point, you have accumulated a shitload of energy relationships in relation to sex. But your most prominent ones will, from your first sexual experience, be moved and stored into your conscious subconscious mind, and the rest into your unconscious mind. Because they're not so energized, not so prominent, the mind can still utilize them when you're having physical sex after your first physical sexual experience, but it'll use it more within an unconscious manner in upgrading, recharging, and evolving your personalities and your entire mind consciousness system. But we utilize the three primary energy relationship experience, like excitement, and fear and desire, to continue fueling your nature, your relationship to sex, to keep you energetically in relationship to sex and physical sex. And thus, every time you have sex, you'll be more mentally and physically aware of the excitement, the desire, and the fear at the same time. And if you have a look at your experience towards sex, you will find that there's a mixture between emotions and feelings, where you'll have both emotional and feeling reactions, energy relationships towards sex, while you're physically having sex, and also simply just thinking about sex. So that indicating in terms of how it is that we have created this energy relationship that we have towards sex, and why and how it is that our sexual experiences are energetically, experientially based, and not really an actual physical act through our human physical bodies as expression. And why orgasms as well is very limited in its release or experience in our human physical bodies, where you primarily experience your orgasm only within your pubic area. Very seldom human beings reach the point where it extends up into the center of the body, and where then you will, for example, experience the orgasm, but you will feel like your lower parts of your body and your arms will go into constriction, like it goes hard, while you're experiencing the orgasm going up. That is because when you're having the orgasm, the mind consciousness system is extracting physical substance from your human physical body, and that's why your arms and your legs will feel like they're going into constriction while you're going into orgasm, which is an indication that you're experiencing the orgasm through the mind and not through the human physical body. When you're experiencing an orgasm as a physical expression, all the parts of your human physical body, all the cells, you will experience, it'll feel like you're experiencing all of your cells of your human physical body expressing at the same time. And it's an expression that express, and it feels like it express into eternity, into all directions. There's no constriction of the human physical body in any way. There's an absolute equality and oneness of expression that's physically experienced within and throughout your entire human physical body. It's like in that one moment, you become aware of the detail of your entire body at the same time. And if one ever look at how physical sex now is, where your attention only goes when you're experiencing your orgasm is only toward the orgasm. You might not even be aware of what your human physical body is really experiencing when you're having that orgasm through the mind. So this system placement was to thus ensure that you experience sex through and from energy and not through the physical. So what we suggest in terms of your process when having sex, and if you have not yet had sex, to have a look at what is your energy relationship towards sex, and to start from your conscious subconscious mind energy relationships by having a look at, when you're thinking about sex, what reactions come up, what is the emotions and feelings that emerge. You can also observe yourself while you're having physical sex in having a look at what reactions come up about yourself while you're having sex, because that's also indications of approaching sex from energy, because you're having a self-experience, a self-reaction while having sex. I mean, that's again indicating that you're approaching having sex through the mind and energy, and not actual physical, comfortable self-expression. And as you walk your process in doing that, you walk your writing of it, describe what the energy reactions are, walk your self-forgiveness, and I mean, it's both the positive and the negative experiences, because they're both energy. If you're approaching sex through excitement and adrenaline and desire, that's completely limiting your sexual experience to only experience just that, just those energies. What about the expression of your entire human physical body during sex? I mean, there is a eternity of expressions waiting for you in your human physical body. Why limit yourself to only 3 or 2 or 1 feeling or energy while having sex? So consider both positive and negative energy relationships. Walk your self-forgiveness, and simultaneously while you're doing that is to, when having physical sex, to assist and support yourself in focusing on only the touch, on your physical sensations, on your human physical body movement, and you'll feel and you'll know and you'll see and you'll experience your mind going to all sorts of directions. It's going to be a process and it's going to take time, so you have to be patient with yourself, where it's going to take discipline in terms of while having sex. Move yourself into your body and focusing on your physical movement, your physical sensations, your actual physical expression. So when you start walking both those points, you're writing self-forgiveness and not participating in your mind while having sex, you'll become more and more clear of making this point of what we mean by physical self-expression real for yourself. Obviously, it's going to be difficult to comprehend it or understand it if you haven't yet walked it for yourself, but it is here and it does exist. You just have to walk yourself out of your mind into the physical. To assist and support yourself to not approach sex through experience or energy, but through actual physical self-expression, which will assist and support yourself in your process as a whole, in terms of walking yourself out of the mind into the physical. For those that has not yet had sex, you can have a look at your relationship towards sex. What's the fears? What's the desires? What's the energies and emotions? And simply assist and support yourself to release yourself from the mind relationship that you have towards sex, so that when you are in an agreement and you're having sex, that you can walk this point of focusing on your physical expression, your physical movements, rather than your energy movements and energy experiences. Alright, so here's some more perspectives in terms of how to assist and support oneself within and during sex in having an actual physical expressed orgasm rather than a limited mind orgasm. Thank you very much.